Welcome to Wilfrid Laurier's 2024 Fall Convocation. The ceremony will begin in a few moments when the graduating students enter the auditorium. Please remain seated while the students are entering. When all the students have taken their places, there will be a brief pause. Then the music will continue and the officers and faculty of the university will enter and take their place. Please rise as you are able and remain standing when the official party enters. I would also like to draw your attention to the 4 exits on the lower level and the 2 locations on the balcony level. If it becomes necessary to clear the auditorium during the ceremony, the volunteers will assist you to these exits. Remember, today is about celebrating our graduates and for family and friends to enjoy this special occasion. Please avoid any actions that could disrupt the formal nature of this event. We also kindly ask that you silence your phones at this time. We trust that you will enjoy the convocation ceremony.
Welcome to Fall Convocation 2024. I'm Nadir Patel, Chancellor of Laurier University. To begin, Laurier strives to improve its relationship with the land and people with whom we share it. And as such, it's important to further our understanding of the long-standing history that has brought Laurier to reside on the land and to seek to understand our place within that history. Laurier's Kitchener-Waterloo, Brantford, and Milton campuses are close to 18 First Nations communities and 12 Métis councils. The Six Nations of the Grand River and Mississaugas of the Credit First Nations are only a 15-minute drive from our Brantford campus. Acknowledging them reminds us of our important connection to this land where we live, learn, and work. We recognize, honor, and respect these nations as the traditional stewards since time immemorial of the lands and water on which Laurier is now present. We are grateful to hold this convocation ceremony on these lands today. I now invite fourth-year Laurier Community Music student Melanie Medeiros Cabral to the stage to lead us in the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Melanie, for leading us in singing our national anthem. Convocation is now in session. Please be seated. Laurier is proud to foster a community that embraces Indigenous initiatives as part of our institutional identity. Laurier has been working toward the goal of indigenization, a term that reflects the incorporation of Indigenous knowledge into the daily life of the university. And we do this in the spirit of the Two-Row Wampum Agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the European settlers. In the wampum belt that symbolizes the agreement, two parallel lines represent the idea that Indigenous and non-Indigenous people travel down the same river of life. Bound together by the silver covenant chain, which commits to respect each other's ways of knowing and being and living in peace and friendship. As such, it has been our custom to include a traditional Indigenous Thanksgiving address in our convocation celebrations. On behalf of Wilfrid Laurier University and our Office of Indigenous Initiatives, It's my pleasure to invite Dr. Darren Thomas, Associate Vice President of Indigenous Initiatives and Associate Professor of Indigenous Studies, a member of the Seneca Nation, Bear Clan, and a resident of the Grand River Territory of the Haudenosaunee, to deliver a Thanksgiving address.
I'm going to offer some words in the language and do the best I can to translate it into English. I'm interested to see how our translator's going to try to follow these words. Nanda nage go dance what I'll see us guy Michael Awado. Nehendu canto sagwai diso sagwa we go no honyo. Ne away sa scan out or not done yo. Nedi name do a ihia scan do I go nigo. Skada rodat no honyo ne togan yo to ogwani go. Dane and do a true we set a Wednesday do no heart do no qua nego to sat ye. Nedi name do a hake. Gwego that one no honyo ne togan yo to ogwani go. Dane and do a true we hodai hondanyo touch nege sat na hawa yenan hake. Nedi name do a hake. Skad yeti no honyo ne togan yo to ogwani go. Dane and do a true we. Genio guadagi, hari ayakiono, ne diokinyanido, ne scano or not danio, ne di ne ndue he, dieti no honio, hari ayakiono, diokinyanido, ne toganio to, owanigoha. Dane and doa truwi, said gowana, scanadayo, oi hawana, touchawatsa, ne desai hai waitwa, setna sago ye hek o hando, a wended friend in yogi, ne di ne ndue he. The said one no honio said go on escanadayo, ne togan yo tok, ogwani go. Dane and do true, how hage go here de hanangre seguidiso. Nate so to sando, ne scan out, I don't know that yo. Nedi ne do a hake. The said one no honio go here de hanangre seguidiso, ne togan yo tok, ogwani go. Dani took na gat gwen ike, I get da ganohonio. The words I offered, for my people in the Haudenosaunee tradition, we understood that life is hard. There are often a lot of violence and hardship and grief, things that can get in the way of what we refer to as ganaquillo, a good mind. That whenever we gather, it's important that we cleanse each other off, if you will. So this isn't really ceremony, it's more protocol. It's like good manners to try to take care of you as we gather and as we celebrate. In spite of things, there's many things wrong in the world right now. Very polarizing positions about how awful we're treating one another right now as human beings. And in this moment, even though there's much wrong in the world, we have to remind you that there's a lot of good as well. So the first thing I acknowledge is, isn't it great we're alive? Isn't it great that we have a chance to gather and celebrate in this moment? And as we gather, let's put our hearts and mind together. And then I acknowledge all of creation, but of course I cheated because I'm already taking way too long. I said, Scott Dieti Nohonyo, we give thanks to everything all at once. But if we had true time to do this properly with full protocol, it's over an hour to do it because they're acknowledging everything in the universe. Each of us as human beings and all the life forces that we share, the water, the trees, all the medicines that grow, all the four-legged ones, the birds, and we just keep moving up all these things up into the heavens. So that whatever it is, that great mystery, God, Jesus, Buddha, Allah, the Big Bang, whatever you believe in, that created this beautiful universe that we're all sharing, we give thanks to it all. And we put that in our hearts and minds as we gather to celebrate in this moment. And yes, it may be true that some of our loved ones aren't here with us at this time, but we hold them dearly in this moment as well. in this time of celebration. Donato.
Thank you, Darren, for being here and for sharing that with us. Very inspiring and a great way to start off our morning. President McClatchy, members of the Board of Governors and the Senate, deans, faculty, administrators, community leaders, distinguished guests, including John Estacio and his family, parents, and of course, most notably, today's graduating class. 31 years ago, this month, I sat in your chair. Well, I'm not in that chair because this building wasn't here 31 years ago, but I was here for Convocation, for my Convocation at Laurier, and I can imagine the swirl of emotions that you're feeling as graduates. Yes, Convocation is a day of celebration and pride, but also a day of reflection and anticipation about what comes next. To be honest with you, I'm feeling a little bit the same way. I'm very proud and excited to be wearing the Chancellor's robe for the first time this week, and enthusiastic about my journey ahead in this role, but also reflecting and anticipating on how I can have impact as Chancellor for this great university. Now, back in the day when I was there, sitting in your chair and probably thinking, among other things, when is this Chancellor's speech going to end? I couldn't have imagined one day being invited to be here in this role at the university that gave so much. And in thinking about what words I could offer you today, I asked myself the simple question. Had I known then what I know now, what would I have told myself 31 years ago? And it came down to two powerful messages for me personally through my professional and personal growth journey. And that is adapting to transitions and resilience. Now, before I delve in, let me just set things up a little bit by sharing a bit about my journey. My mom and dad were born in rural India. The one thing that each wanted more than anything was to be able to study and pursue higher education. Sadly, personal and financial circumstances meant staying in school wasn't possible for either of them. They seized an opportunity to move to the UK despite having limited means and many naysayers. But they had the courage to make a fresh start. And England was quite exciting in the early 60s, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, James Bond. They had great friends, employment, and before too long they had 4 kids. But their dreams about education never subsided, and to them at that time, Britain's public education system wasn't good enough for what they were seeking. And so they applied for residency in Canada. They arrived in Cambridge, Ontario, just down the road, which is where I grew up. And they raised their family. And of course, there were challenges along the way, but my parents were resilient, able to adapt, and welcomed transitions. An unrelenting focus on getting a good education was a constant for me and my brothers. And studying at Laurier was my choice. I liked Waterloo region, and I was really interested in the advantage of studying at a smaller school with smaller class sizes, a stellar reputation, a community feel, and a student experience like no other. And I'm very happy to say, after having spent some time here over the last few months, all those things hold true today, even though the university is 4 times bigger than it was at that time. And of course, it didn't hurt that Laurier had a terrific football program. I was a very proud student when we won the Vanier Cup in '91, and let's hope that that also holds true this year. Now, I have to admit, at that time, when I was in your shoes, I didn't know where I was going. But now, after having worked as a public servant, a diplomat, a corporate director, a board chair, I now realize none of those accomplishments would have been possible without the foundation that Laurier helped me build. Admittedly, people don't always understand or value appreciate the value of some things right away, including me. I'm not so sure I fully appreciated the value of my education at that time. Every so often, I hear stories about students questioning the value of a university education today. Do I still consider the time and cost worth it? My unequivocal answer without any hesitation is yes, and nothing will persuade me otherwise. Looking back after 3 decades, having traveled the world, having lived abroad in cities like Shanghai and Delhi and studied abroad, I realize how this place has prepared me for what was to come. But I only realized that years later. You've also built a strong foundation yourselves. During your time at Laurier, you've taken the time to read, discuss, write, learn, interact with others, think critically, and reflect on solutions to tomorrow's challenges. And now it's time to build on that foundation. The power of adapting to transitions. Of course, earning a degree isn't your only accomplishment. Not for you, not for this class. A number of you studied here and made it through a pandemic. You adapted to the isolation of lockdowns and to distance learning, to uncertainty and unpredictability. And now you're entering a world that demands adaptive thinking and courageous action. The students I've spoken with recently are, understandably, preoccupied with a rapidly changing labor market. Climate change, social and political unrest, technological transformations, geopolitical instability, affordability issues, to name a few. And these things are shaping or reshaping the way we live and work now and into the future. And the thought of entering a workforce that's constantly evolving, where job security may be uncertain, is enough to make anyone feel uneasy. And yet, despite these challenges, I stand here filled with a lot of optimism, because I believe in your ability to adapt to these challenges. And I strongly believe that you are prepared. Your time here has given you the most valuable skill of all, and that is the ability to learn, adapt, and grow. Your degree is not just a piece of paper. It's a testament to your ability to think critically, to solve problems creatively, and to engage with complex ideas. And your time at Laurier allowed you to learn about your abilities, your interests, and your limits. Your cohort knows only a world that is rapidly changing, and so you're used to adapting and embracing transitions. And that attribute, in my view, is incredibly valuable. It's exactly what you need for your next stage in life. Now, change can be unsettling and it can be tempting to resist uncertainty, but it's also inevitable. It's coming, it's happening, whether it's moving from one degree into another, or from one job to the next, or from one city to the next. Change is the window in which you have the most potential to grow. So I encourage you to view it as an opportunity to discovering what you are truly capable of. And don't cling too tightly to the idea of how you think life will unfold. Allow yourself the freedom to adapt, to grow into the person you're meant to become. Those who thrive are not necessarily the ones with the most talent or resources, but the ones willing to stay curious and embrace the opportunities they encounter. This has defined my own journey. And I've mentioned already my parents' transitions. Despite having very little, they had the courage still to leave for a better future in Canada. Imagine, had they lacked that courage, who knows where I would be today. My transitions have occurred for many reasons: adversity, changing interests, going back to school for more education, going abroad for work or travel, or leaving the public sector for the private sector. And all of those brought uncertainty and apprehension, but also incredible opportunities. And I had to step out of my comfort zone to leave little Cambridge, Ontario, for the big, booming metropolis of Ottawa. But then imagine my later transition from Ottawa to Shanghai, or Delhi, or New York, or London, or Paris. But my time at Laurier equipped me for those transitions, as I'm confident it has equipped you. Best of all, you are resilient. I've rarely heard anyone bring up resilience as a key leadership competency, yet I would argue it's among the most important elements that define a successful career. Because life will not always go as planned. You'll encounter unexpected roadblocks. There'll be moments of doubt when the road ahead seems uncertain. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, the inner strength that allows us to push forward when everything seems to be pushing against us. During your time here, you all experienced adversity, yet you persevered and you grew stronger. So remind yourself of that experience, and believe in your ability to overcome on an ongoing basis. But also, understand that no one achieves success alone. I sure didn't. Resilient people understand the power of connection. They know that supporting others strengthens those around them and themselves. Throughout your lives, you will need to lean on others, whether it's friends, family, mentors, colleagues. And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. And more importantly, don't hesitate to offer help to those around you. To close, I would say the world you are entering or inheriting is in desperate need of thoughtful, compassionate, and engaged citizens. You are the next generation. Your voice, your actions, your choices, both big and small, will shape the world. You may not realize that now, And you don't have to wait until later to make a difference. Remember that no matter where life takes you, you'll have the power to make a difference right now. So I challenge you to engage and be curious, to take action where you can, to help others along the way, and give back when you can. Embrace the unknown, adapt to every transition, trust in your resilience, and go forth with confidence. My last message to you is 50 years ago this year, we arrived in Canada, in Cambridge, and the Member of Parliament at that time, 1974, it was a gentleman named Max Saltzman, and he left a handwritten note for my parents when we arrived in Cambridge. And that note read, "Welcome, work hard, anything is possible." And that summarizes my journey and my message to you. Congratulations to all of you today, and thank you. I would now like to welcome Dr. Deborah McClatchy, President and Vice Chancellor, to bring greetings.
Thank you, Chancellor Patel. Good morning, graduates, and welcome to all of your supporters who are here to celebrate with you today. Congratulations on this remarkable achievement. Graduating from university or earning an advanced degree is a significant accomplishment, and this ceremony marks a new chapter in your lives. Your journey to this point has been nothing short of extraordinary. Some of you were just beginning your university experience when the onset of a global pandemic challenged you in ways that nobody could have anticipated. Others were partway through their studies or began just as we were emerging from lockdowns. What is true for all of our graduates is that you navigated not only the academic rigors of the university, but also the profound ways the world changed. Your unique university experience has been a testament to your perseverance, adaptability, and ability to innovate. Of course, the pandemic has not been the only challenge for you, our graduating students. We have watched you challenge yourselves to excel not only in the classroom, but in our communities, in service of others, your ideals, and life goals. In the Faculty of Social Work, our graduates have engaged in communities through service and training, supporting some of the most vulnerable in our community while addressing broad social challenges and enhancing individual, family, and community well-being. In the Faculty of Education, our graduates have worked in local schools, supporting youth, strengthening our education system, and making contributions to the fields of teaching, learning, leadership, and student affairs. Many of our music graduates have spent countless hours honing their craft and sharing it with audiences. Through your performances, you have brought people together at Laurier and in the community, entertained and lifted spirits, and provided comfort, making people think and feel. At Martin Luther University College, our graduates have worked in community service, learning and clinical placements in counseling agencies, hospitals, long-term care centers, and congregations, just to name a few, with many also adding new research to our body of knowledge in areas such as theology, psychotherapy, and human relationships. These are just a few of the many inspiring examples of what our graduates have accomplished during their time at Laurier. And in watching you, our graduates, create hope and opportunity within our communities, I cannot help but be inspired by what the future holds. All of these experiences have taught you important lessons and helped you develop attributes that will serve you well throughout your lives. This spirit of community is the essence of Laurier, and I hope that you carry it with you long after you graduate. As you reflect on all you have accomplished and look forward to the future, I also hope that each of you remember the things that you found during your time at university that brought you joy. Perhaps it was appreciating a sunny day in the park, a meaningful conversation with a friend or family member, or handing in a final paper or passing your thesis defense. Whatever it was something that cultivated gratitude and appreciation for being in that moment. And I hope that today you'll pause to truly take in this moment, filled with people who believe in you and who have supported you. because taking time to find a spark of joy helps foster strength and adaptability for the moments of struggle and challenge. We are all here with you, happy to celebrate your achievements. We cannot wait to see what you do next. Congratulations and my very best wishes to you as you enter this new chapter. I would also like to take a moment to recognize Laurier's Chancellor, Nadir Patel, who, as he mentioned, is presiding over his first convocation season this fall. We're grateful to have you serve as Chancellor, Nadir, and are proud to count you as an alumnus of the university. I now have the honor of presenting John Estacio, the honorary degree recipient this morning, and I now ask that Dr. Anna Frank come to the podium to read the citation.
Chancellor Patel, President and Vice Chancellor McClatchy, colleagues, graduates, and guests. It gives me great pleasure to present to you John Estacio, a nationally esteemed and internationally recognized composer, as well as one of our Faculty of Music's most distinguished alumni. Born in Newmarket, Ontario, John graduated from Laurier in 1989, earning a Bachelor of Music Honors in Composition degree with distinction. Upon completion, shortly thereafter, of a Master of Music degree in Composition at the University of British Columbia, he was appointed Composer-in-Residence with the Edmonton Symphony in 1992. This was a coveted position that launched his illustrious music career and led to additional appointments as Composer-in-Residence with Procoro Canada in Edmonton, the Calgary Philharmonic, and Calgary Opera. Since then, Estacio's creative output has been prolific. His portfolio ranges from chamber, choral, and symphonic compositions to film scores, ballets, and full-scale operas, all of which blend a classical music tradition with contemporary sensibilities to weave compelling musical narratives that make his work accessible to diverse audiences. Known as an adept orchestrator, Estacio has received commissions from top-ranked music organizations and ensembles, and his orchestral music has been performed by every major symphony orchestra in Canada, as well as in Singapore, China, Europe, the UK, and throughout the United States. As one of Canada's most frequently performed composers, he is best known for his symphonic and operatic compositions, which have met with critical acclaim and solidified his position as a Canadian leader in these genres. To mention but a few highlights, one of his most famous symphonic compositions, Phrenergy, stands the test of time. Premiered in 1998, it has become a staple of the orchestral repertoire and inspired a Phrenergy tour across Canada in 2019, which involved 76 young musicians from both Canadian and European Union youth orchestras. In 2017, Estacio's trumpet concerto became ubiquitous with Canada's sesquicentennial celebration. It was commissioned by an unprecedented consortium of 19 Canadian orchestras and was recorded by the Mulhouse Symphony Orchestra in France. More recently, undaunted by pandemic challenges and responding to a commission by the Kingston Symphony to highlight musicians working from home, Estacio produced a highly entertaining domestic divertimento in 2020 that added clinking glasses, clacking spoons, and clanging pots, among other percussive domestic instruments, to the traditional orchestral texture. Estacio's work also reflects on poignant moments in Canadian history and illuminates societal issues of our time. For example, his first of 5 operas, Filomena, is set in the Alberta Rockies and recounts the immigrant life and untimely death of Florence Filomena Losandro, who was executed in 1923 at the age of 22. Premiered in 2003 by Calgary Opera, it has been filmed for television and was commemorated on a stamp issued by Canada Post. Equally powerful is Estasio's composition, I Lost My Talk, based on a poem by Mi'kmaq elder and poet Rita Joe. Premiered by the National Arts Centre Orchestra in 2016, the music amplifies the expression of pain and suffering experienced by Rita Joe at Shubenacadie Residential School in Nova Scotia, and intensifies her reclamation of identity and faith in reconciliation. Estasio's career exemplifies a life of leadership and purpose in the musical arts. Gifted with the rare ability to inspire listeners through meaningful music experiences of uniquely Canadian content, he has become a national treasure, recognized by an impressive list of accolades. Among them are 5 Juno nominations, several SOCAN awards from the Society of Composers, Authors, and Music Publishers of Canada, an Alberta Motion Picture Industries Association Award for Best Original Film Score composed for the CBC television film The Secret of the Nutcracker, and an Opera Canada Ruby Award acknowledging his significant contributions to operatic repertoire. Crowning his list of recognitions is the Lieutenant Governor of Alberta Distinguished Artist Award received in 2017 and his appointment to the Order of Canada in 2021. Today, we celebrate John Estasio not only for his outstanding accomplishments in music, but also for his contributions to the cultural fabric of our nation and beyond. Chancellor Patel, for his extraordinary contributions to contemporary classical music, his dedication to promoting Canadian stories, especially through opera and symphonic works, and his lasting impact on the cultural landscape of Canada, I am instructed by the Senate of the University to request you to admit to the degree of Doctor of Music, honoris causa, John Estasio.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Music, honoris causa.
At this time, Dr. Estasio will sign the official registry of the university. This holds all the signatures of our honorary degree recipients. The Chancellor was installed yesterday and signed it as well, and it's held in our Laurier archives. And I now have the honor of requesting that Dr. John Estasio address Convocation.
Thank you so much. Chancellor Patel, President McClatchy, distinguished participants on stage, guests, and graduates, the reason why we're all here. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to receive this honorary degree in music and to have the opportunity to address you all this morning. And I know what some of you are maybe thinking, who exactly is this guy? I know, right? I'm the guy who never saw this coming. That's who this guy is. I'm the guy who's comfortable being behind the scenes in the background. I'm the guy who doesn't appear on any of your screens, but my name might show up in the closing credits now and then. I'm the name you might hear on a CBC radio broadcast after an orchestral composition. You don't see me on the concert stage performing. Oh, no, that's not for me. But you'll see my name in the program listed below the title of a composition. So to be up here in the limelight is an unexpected surprise. It's especially surprising for me because it feels like it wasn't that long ago when I was seated where you are right now. And it was 4 years before that I started my degree here at Laurier. It was actually nearly 40 years ago. It was 39, but we'll call it 40 for an even number. And 40 years prior to that was 1945, which to a young John in 1985 would have felt like eons ago. 1945 was a series of black and white photographs of World War II, military uniforms, short hair, finest Sunday clothes, Bing Crosby movies. Had I bumped into someone downtown on King Street in 1985 who told me they had started their academic career at Laurier 40 years prior in 1945, I would have thought, wow, that was a long time ago, old-timer. And so here we are, 40 years later, after my first day on the Laurier campus as an excited and overwhelmed freshman, meeting my new classmates at the barbecue in the quad, living in a basement apartment on Regina Street with my roommate Paul, who happens to be here today. And I got, it was a bad apartment. I gotta tell you, the perception of time is weird. Turns out 40 years really isn't that long ago. So I watched a few Convocation speeches on YouTube to prepare for today. And by the way, I got to tell you, I'm sorry you're not getting Tom Hanks. But I noticed that these speeches are usually opportunities to share pearls of wisdom. Well, I'm not sure how many pearls I have, but I might have some nuggets of experience. And one nugget is that your relationship with time will change in subtle ways. Time doesn't care who you are, rich, poor, doesn't care about your heritage, your gender, if you have academic degrees or not. Time is there for you to use, and when it's done, it's done. And because time is terribly unfair, we don't have all the same amount of time. And unlike our checking accounts, we can't whip out our phone and say, oh, how much time is in my account? You just don't know. I'm not telling you anything earth-shatteringly new here. We all know this. The Romans had a term for it in Latin, tempus fugit. But once you get to a certain point in your life, once several years and decades have unspooled, you start to realize that tempus does indeed fugit. It flies. So once you've departed this campus today and left the student life behind you to start your next adventure, please use your time. Take your university experience, not only the knowledge you gathered in your classroom with your professors and your co-students, but your complete 360 student life experience. Put it to use. If you have something you always wanted to do, whether it's academic or not, experience it, get on it, start it. If you leave here and you think, well, that was a good run, but I don't think this degree is for me after all, that's all right too. Go out, travel down a different path, take a different journey. Your experiences here was not a waste of time if you do that. On the contrary, you will probably refer to and fall back on your university experience your entire life. But above all, use the time, because before you know it, you'll be on stage one Friday morning, your hair thinning, your beard more salt than pepper, still carrying your Christmas weight from 2005, and dressed in your finest academic drag, addressing the convocating class of 2064. Thank you. Mid-speech applause, I never get that. I'd like to say that your post-academic life is going to be smooth sailing, that your degree inoculates you from all challenges and all hurdles, but I think we all know that's kind of a guarantee that no one can offer. And as a composer, I've had some wonderful opportunities to create music and hear it performed live in venues around the world. But even after decades of working, I still have some days when I wonder what to do next. Days when sitting down at the piano and just picking up a pencil and just scribbling notes on a piece of paper takes all the effort in the world. Even in mid-career, you can still encounter hurdles. And I remember one project that made me stop and question life as a musician, my work, how I was using my time. All sorts of uncomfortable questions started to bubble up. And I had been asked to compose a large-scale work for full orchestra, full choir, soloists. And when a composer is writing a piece for voice, a text is required, poetic or otherwise. And the words I was considering to set to music dealt with intolerance and war. And I remember wondering why do another composition about the atrocities of war after all the compelling compositions that have been written on this same topic through the centuries. Marvelous compositions by Beethoven, Brahms, Benjamin Britten, Haydn, not to mention the pop and folk songs that have touched on this same subject, in addition to films and novels. And with all the art that has been created in an attempt to get humanity to smarten up and think twice about inflicting sorrow and misery on one another, we as a species still don't seem to get the message. And I recall sitting in my backyard one summer evening and pondering all of this, wondering why should I tackle such a heavy-handed work that probably won't change the world? My neighbors, one patio over, they saw me sitting there looking pensive, and they said, well, what's going on? And I told them all of this. And they invited me over to their patio, and they stuck a glass of wine in my hand and slapped me over the head and said, get to work, start that composition. Now, they themselves are not artists. They appreciate the arts, and they explained to me that their day-to-day jobs really don't afford them the opportunity to share their thoughts and visions beyond their immediate circle. And they reminded me of the huge canvas that I have at my disposal as an artist, the significant reach I have to put my voice and vision out into the world. And they went on to say that they rely on artists to keep on working, to keep on recording, writing, filming, painting, performing, telling relevant stories in their own unique way. So yes, I ended up writing that composition with that particular text, and so it's out there, living a life on its own, thanks to my neighbors. And I don't know if it's changing the world, but I do know it's out there trying. And if I hadn't taken the time to write it down, then there'd be nothing at all. There would only be blank music paper, and that's pretty boring to look at. And so my last little nugget of experience is to encourage you to tell your story, write your story. Use your canvas, whatever the equivalent happens to be. I know you're not all musicians, you're not composers. We all have a story. We all have something to contribute to our communities. You came here to Laurier because you were curious and you wanted to learn. You had questions, you needed answers, and you needed facts, and you needed the truth. You also wanted to improve your chances of being able to contribute something significant to the betterment of your community, to your own life, and to the world. And that is an entirely noble thing. We need your unique perspective, whether you're in social work or philosophy, business, education, or if you're a singer, a violinist, a music therapist, or just a composer. We all have something unique to contribute, and hopefully it's for the betterment of everyone around us. And after all, we're all just walking each other home. We are keeping an eye out for one another, hand in hand, making sure we get home safely. And if we all do that, using the skills we've developed, then I'm of the opinion that you have used your time well. Thank you for this. Thank you for your endeavors, for your past years. Thank you to your families, to your supporters who helped you get through all of this. I want to thank my family and my supporters who have helped me, and I wish you all another 40 years, and 40 more years after that, and a couple of decades to boot, all the time you need to write your next chapter in your story. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Trish McLaren, and I'm the Associate Vice President Academic here at Laurier, and I am delighted to be here with you all today. I'd like to start by introducing some of our colleagues who are participating in today's ceremony. Joining us on stage is our beadle, who carried the mace as the procession walked in, Dr. Mitra Barua. Hooding the graduates today will be Dr. Nancy Freeman, Dr. Mary Wilson, Dr. Lee Willingham, Dr. Elizabeth Mitchell, and Dr. Alan Jorgensen. And the deans who will be greeting graduates are Dr. Robert Basso, Dr. Maria Cantillini-Williams, Dr. Cynthia Johnson-Turner, and Reverend Dr. Christine Lund. We are pleased to celebrate your achievement today with all of your family and friends who are here with us. I know that your family and friends, along with your classmates, your faculty members, and the staff at the institution have played an integral role in your journey. Please join me in a round of applause to recognize everybody who's here. And now it is time to begin the conferral process. Will all those who are here to receive degrees and diplomas please rise as you are able? Chancellor Patel, I take great pleasure in presenting those who have successfully completed the studies prescribed, fulfilled all the conditions thereto appointed, and been recommended for degrees and diplomas by the Senate of the University.
In accordance with the laws of the Province of Ontario and by virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor, I admit you to the degrees and diplomas as shall be announced by the presenters. Graduates, the marshals will now instruct you row by row to begin making your way backstage.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Michelle Scope, and I have the privilege of reading the names of our talented graduates today. This is an exciting day for all of us, and we take pride in the accomplishments of all of our graduates. We welcome applause to acknowledge your graduates and to show how proud you are of them. Graduates are asked to remain in their seats until all fellow graduates have received their degrees and convocation is completed. Today, some Indigenous graduates will receive a unique stole with their symbolic meaning. One side of the stole depicts the Dish with One Spoon Treaty Wampum Belt between the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe. This land is part of the Dish with One Spoon Treaty between the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples and symbolizes the agreement to share, protect our resources, and not to engage in conflict. On the other side of the stole is the Office of Indigenous Initiatives logo, based on the Haudenosaunee creation story. Our logo reminds us of how the first seeds of life on Earth were planted on the back of a turtle. The inner segments of the dome represent the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, 7 grandfathers' teachings: love, respect, wisdom, bravery, truth, honesty, and humility. The golden rays of the sun symbolize enlightenment, learning, and new beginnings. The Métis beaded purple flower represents the gift of plant life from the sky world, which encourages and sustains life. The entire design rests on the waters of life. Chancellor Patel, I am pleased to present the following for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Social Work from the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies. Giselle Diaz. Dissertation title, Indigenous Holistic Abolition, Visioning Indigenous Queer, Two-Spirit, and Indigiqueer Futures. Advisor, Dr. Kathy Absalon. Amar Galani. If somebody takes the time to listen, understanding the risks and reasons for cannabis use among youth who have experienced psychosis. Advisor, Dr. Robert Basso. Azi Razbani Tarani. Title of dissertation, Young Adult Stepchildren's Lived Experience of Blended Family Adjustment During Adolescence, a Retrospective Descriptive Phenomenological Analysis. Advisor, Dr. Magnus Mafafo McCarthy. Chancellor Patel, this ends the list of those presented for doctoral degrees from the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies.
The Indigenous field of study presents this eagle feather to you in recognition for your transformational learning journey in the IFS. Traditionally, eagle feathers were bestowed upon those who had undergone challenges in their growth and learning and healing. The eagle feather is a sacred symbol of strength, leadership, and spiritual growth. They were presented to those individuals who demonstrated dedication, commitment, and determination throughout their learning journeys. The eagle feather was passed on as a rite of passage. With this eagle feather, we in the Indigenous field of study recognize your learning, healing, and transformation as a holistic healing practitioner. Carry this eagle feather with pride and let it be your helper. Treat it with respect and do not allow alcohol or drugs to come near it. Keep it clean and safe. Do not drop it, and if you do, offer tobacco to pick up its spirit again. Treat this sacred feather with reverence and safeguard its spirit. In return, it will guide and protect you as you continue on your journey.
Chancellor Patel, I am pleased to present the following for the degree of Master of Social Work from the Lyle S. Hallman Faculty of Social Work. Cheryl Annette Adams. Jose Benoit. Roberta Jo Bernard. Joan Marion Kachaji. Kyla Amanda Jane Campbell. Andrea Caputo LaRocque. Joyce Beatrice Davis. Sally Marianne Evelyn Docus. Recipient of the Medal of Academic Excellence for the master's level for the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, Catherine Elizabeth Free. Emily Marie Hearn. Jessica Fawn Hill. Beth Rachel Joy Jacobs. Jennifer Claire Johnson. Sarita Diana Johnson. Annie Elizabeth Knockwood. Natasha Alexandra Kupar. Sierra Willow Miller. Sandra D. Mitchell. Sarah Andrea Pineda Martinez. Avery Margaret Flora Prue. Jacinta Maria Shawanda. Valerie Una Shawinamash. Amanda Trites. Sarah Elizabeth Wheel. Alicia Williamson. Recipient of the Medal of Academic Excellence for the Master's Level for the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, Vanessa Aguirre. Rhonda Hazel Andel. Tara Michelle Anton. Andrea Noor Badri. Zunera Bag. Andrea Michelle Beebe. Cassandra Lee Bell. Jerry Leanne Blinick. Megan Allison Boone. Riley Boroff. Siobhan LaCollette Campbell. Kendall Elise Castles. Sabrina Dubovic. Jade Patricia Davidson. Sydney Davies. Brianna Lynn Davis. Recipient of the Medal of Academic Excellence for the Master's level for the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, Chelsea Alexandra Kane Fichenko. Caitlin Ann Forbes. Kayla Joelle Haas. Kylie Lisa Hallett. Fiona Mercedes Hisson. Alexandra Yamina Ingwanse. Caitlin Jansen. Sherry Hain Lazrag. Melissa Constantina Mancini. Eliana Azucena Mina. Lindsay Angela Mose. Caitlin Eva Jane Morrow. Mandy Leanne Obrecht. Sarah Mackenzie Christine Pandel. Nicole Pitt. Saba Kazi. Marina Anissa Rahman. Haneen Ramada. Basham Kishan Ramutar. Judy Wilma Rentinar. Tyra Justine Reach. Bernadette Roberts. Elise Christine Sapala Ulrich. John Edward Shearer. Rowena Sheck. Nicole Shillingford Grell. Tasha Faker. Mary Sarah Ann Thiessen. Forsak Tognasuk Celestine. Denisa Van Bokel. Isabel Vumi. Nzinga Walker. Megan Elizabeth Wright. Chancellor Patel, this ends the list of those presented for degrees from the Lyle S. Hallman Faculty of Social Work. Chancellor Patel, I am pleased to present the following for the degree of Master of Education from the Faculty of Education. Durar Abuzad. Caitlin Ann Cowan. Caitlin Rebecca D'Souza. Julia Charlene McFarlane. Janet Margaret Resor. Chancellor Patel, this ends the list of those presented for master degrees from the Faculty of Education. Chancellor Patel, I am pleased to present the following for the degree of Bachelor of Education from the Faculty of Education. Aiden Emily McPherson. Chancellor Patel, this ends the list of those presented for degrees from the Faculty of Education.
Good morning. My name is Kimberly Barber. I'm one of the Associate Deans in the Faculty of Music, and I'm here to present degrees in the Faculty of Music. Chancellor Patel, I'm pleased to present the following for the degree of Master of Arts from the Faculty of Music. Recipient of the Medal of Academic Excellence for the master's level for the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, Maya Orishia Therese Forler Coates. Rebecca Ann Del Genio. Sarah Catherine Geidlinger. Mason Michael Michewski. Lisa Michaels. Amber Mills. Johann Frederick Maloney Yunt. Chancellor Patel, I am pleased to present the following for the degree of Master of Music Therapy from the Faculty of Music. Ryan William Carley. Jillian Abigail Chesney. Nicholas Richard Girchuk. Recipient of the Medal of Academic Excellence for the master's level for the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, Tien Ip. Lok E. Kathy Yu. Odelia Lei Ko. Grace Frances McDonald. Cynthia Faye Marhu. Allison Marie Paff. Kylie Isabel Thompson. Madison Greer Trupp. Chancellor Patel, this ends the list of those presented for master's degrees from the Faculty of Music. Chancellor Patel, I am pleased to present the following for the degree of Bachelor of Music Honors Program from the Faculty of Music. Catherine Azalea Botsma. Alex Ivan Rosberg. Justin Paul Leckie. Devon Molly Pendergast. Mackenzie June Spaltore. Nahanabiha Yusuf. Chancellor Patel, I am pleased to present the following for the degree of Bachelor of Music Therapy Honors Program from the Faculty of Music. Hilary Jane Eyre. Shishwen Guo. Sophie Jolicoeur Becotte. Sharia Sadie Khan. Yeon Kim. Tse Yan Lung. Recipient of the Alumni Gold Medal for the Faculty of Music, Linnea Ingrid Dalich McCallum. Mika McCarley Greenwell. Bethany Marie Mendonca. Sorry, Mendonça. Mendonça. Pay attention to the phonetics. Rosana Chiara Paz Pieri. Giselle Victoria Scott. Bridget Swift. Matilda Elizabeth Wilson. Chancellor Patel, this ends the list of those presented for degrees from the Faculty of Music.
My name is Sherry Coleman. I am on faculty at Martin Luther University College, and it's a pleasure to be presenting these folks today. Chancellor Patel, I am pleased to present the following for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Human Relationships from the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies. Yvonne Frances Runstetler. The thesis was titled From the Invisible Man to Cozy Closets, Gender Diverse Student Narratives in Ontario Catholic Schools, and the advisor was Dr. Daniel Rosinski. Chancellor Patel, this ends the list of those presented for doctoral degrees from the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies. Chancellor Patel, I am pleased to present the following for the degrees of Master of Arts in Theology from Martin Luther University College. Evelina Ida Sofiana Ahonen. Yowanda Olubukula Amenichi. J. David Finch. Jennifer Kate Morley. Mark Stevens. Kyle Alexander Stewart. Geraldine Sweeney. Chancellor Patel, this ends the list of those presented for degrees from Martin Luther University College.
Chancellor Patel, on behalf of the Senate, I request you to confer degrees in absentia to the eligible candidates who are unable to be present today.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor, I confer degrees in absentia to the eligible candidates who are unable to be present today. I would now like to present the alumni welcome video made for the graduating class by the Wilfrid Laurier University Alumni Association.
Congratulations, you did it. You're a Laurier grad, and now you can look back with pride and look to your future with excitement. Today isn't just about receiving your degree. It's also about celebrating the journey you took to get here. It's about remembering your first day on campus, your first Laurier friend, your first class. It's about thinking back on those late-night study sessions, your favorite profs, and all the memories you made here. It's about the times you faced new challenges and pushed through. It's about how much you grew and how much you learned. It wasn't always easy, but you did it. You've earned this moment. Enjoy it and be proud of all you've achieved. And while your journey is far from over, remember, no matter where you go or what the future brings, you are a Golden Hawk for life. You are alumni for life. You are Laurier for life. Stay connected.
Come on out for homecoming or join us at a chapter of it.
Make sure you download the Golden Perks app.
Stay involved.
Volunteer to be a panelist, classroom speaker, or competition judge.
And most of all,
stay golden.
Stay golden.
Stay golden. Stay golden.
Stay golden.
Stay golden.
Stay golden.
Stay golden.
Stay golden.
Thank you to the Alumni Association for providing that celebratory and inspirational message. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty jazzed up right now after this session. So following the ceremony, everyone's invited to take photographs and commemorate this special occasion in the atrium. Huge congratulations once again to all of our graduates. We want to thank everyone for joining us today. I'll ask you to please stand as you're able for the recessional, and we ask you to remain at your seats until the recessional is complete. So please stand, and with that, Convocation is dismissed.